Well, good morning, good afternoon. This is Zyxel's introduction to the new Zyxel VPN2's. Hi, my name is Tri Nguyen. I'm one of the product managers and marketing development managers here at Zyxel. Welcome again. I'm glad that you could join us for this next few minutes to hear about this new product that we've launched. Just to cover a little bit, some things to cover is we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So if you want to use the Q&A window there and then send me a message, we can see if we can answer those questions at the end of the webinar. If you have also any questions after that, you can reach out to our sales team. This webinar also is going to be recorded as well. So if you have any team members who couldn't make it, feel free to hand them that link after we have it posted online. You'll find that at our webinar link or through our partner portal if you're one of our partners. So I wanted to cover a little bit about who Zyxel is, just in case you didn't know, who we are, or you're just a new customer or new partner looking at Zyxel. So we are a company that's been around since 1989. That's actually now 29 years of networking expertise. We're going to be celebrating our 30th year next year, so it's going to be a great accomplishment. We have over 1,500 employees serving over 150 markets worldwide, and we've powered over 700,000 businesses with our solutions. That accounts for, the 700,000 out of 100 million Zyxel networking devices globally. So it's quite a huge number out there of product that, you may not have heard of Zyxel before, but we do have a major presence out there in the world. One thing that we do pride ourselves as well is that we offer really a full solution connecting anything that's connected to the network, whether it be a telco device or service provider type equipment with DSL, DSLAMs, business connectivity for security, wireless switching networks, or even the connected home with routers and home mesh Wi-Fi solutions there. But one thing that I'm really proud of is our R&D capabilities. We pride ourselves in our R&D. We have over 500 software and hardware engineers, over 150 technical support team members, really to deliver all kind of support for all aspects of the networking technologies. They're versed in all areas, really, switching, wireless, security gateways. And really having our own R&D resource really gives us that flexibility and control of the features, the functions, and the fixes, especially when our partners like you give us feedback on what you guys need, things to fix, or even solutions or functions that you're looking to do business the way that you want it to be done. We offer a comprehensive commercial portfolio anywhere in the business sector, security appliances for UTM or VPN firewall, like we'll be talking today, switches for your PoE applications, for layer 2, layer 3 connectivity with fiber or 10 gig uplinks, access points using some of the latest technologies like smart antenna technologies, being able to deliver Wi-Fi to any kind of application, hotspot gateways, as well as cloud network management or even standalone network management solutions. So Zyxel really encompasses that whole total solution end-to-end for management to all the endpoints that are within that local network. So today I'm going to be talking about the security line, which the VPN2's kind of comes as part of. The global VPN market is expected to reach 106 billion by 2022. So there's always that growth that's there. There's always the need or growing need, obviously, for VPN, for encryption, and that continues to rise as people are more conscious about accessing their data securely. Or, you hear about all these data breaches or threats of malware and data compromises from their networking system. So it's now in kind of the public eye. Your end users or the customers are all looking at ways to prevent or to protect themselves. Using kind of just an off-the-shelf, consumer router is for the business is not really a great way to protect anymore. So this gives us opportunity, ourselves as well as a U.S. partner selling this product to have opportunity to deliver this kind of solution. So why are businesses adopting VPN? Well, VPN is secure. It uses some of the latest technologies. It allows for you to access file shares and files over the internet. You're not needing to open up any kind of ports. You don't need to you don't need to open up ports on your firewall. So it doesn't allow, to allow like access in, so you don't have to open those ports. So that really minimizes data breach opportunities on the internet WAN side. VPN also increases productivity, especially for remote users to gain access to those local resources. Typically, it requires for you to have some sort of local server, or you have to be there locally. But now you can access that content or that file share anywhere there's internet connection. But a lot of times you don't know if that connection, especially if you're like in a hotspot, you don't know if that's secure or not. So in those public hotspots, you should be able to use VPN really to encrypt and secure that connection back to your office. Also, remote management, if you're doing kind of a managed service kind of opportunity or a business model, using VPN for remote management of those local nodes is a much more secure way, and actually an easier way for you to connect into that local network. You don't have to open up port 60,001, 60,002, and et cetera for each one of the remote devices so that you can gain public access. Opening those ports just potentially leaves open from a malware or other types of scanning hacks to go through those kinds of ports and try to initiate something that you don't want to do. VPN is also a cost-effective way to transfer data over an existing internet connection. Typically, before you had to get a dedicated line if you wanted really a private network, dedicated network between a point to point, and that was very expensive. And also, the speeds were pretty low. So using VPN, using your existing internet connections, especially now with upload speeds and download speeds to be quite high, you can maximize that transfer rate and be able to do an encrypted tunnel between site to site or between home office to your main office. So you gain the benefits of having a local private network as if you were sitting in that office, but being miles and miles away. It could be across the world for all it matters. So when we talk about small business, I typically mean about 5 to 15 people. Typically, these small businesses have access to the cloud and utilizes a bunch of different types of applications, either in the cloud or even on the local side. But again, they have limited. Small businesses typically have limited IT resources, or they have limited IT experts, and they use all those applications and need somebody to kind of manage them or make sure that it's all secure. What we've done is we know that these small businesses, the people who work there, especially the owners, the shopkeepers, et cetera, they wear many hats, and so they're also on the go. They're managing the network. They're doing business. There's the sales as well, and some of them work from home. Others work on the road, and then they work in the office. So, really, it's kind of a balance between all of that, having that mobility and making sure that that's all secure. So what happens though if the internet is down, and so especially that communication channel, if that's gone, or what if that channel of communication is insecure? So what do you do about that? So the VPN2's is here. The VPN2's offers multi-WAN options, making sure that there's always an internet connection available to the cloud, to any of your resources and services for your team. This obviously boosts productivity, and that's always available and always on. So, like the team here you see in the office, they seem like they're doing a lot of work. And if you can imagine, if the internet goes down completely, I don't think they'll be, sitting there so diligently working. If it was like me, I'd be picking up my phone and, be text messaging or trying to surf things on my phone, right? So we've all dealt with that situation where your internet goes down and productivity goes down to zero, pretty much. So now you're able to do that with if you're able to get multiple internet connections, which is now very affordable. You can get a secondary internet connection from a different provider. So our suggestion typically is if you already have a DSL or T1 connection, you can always get a cable modem service to add on top of that. That gives you the benefit of both load balancing and failover at the same time, giving you that kind of reliability of always having always on connectivity. So the VPN2's has a gigabit WAN interface, where you see on the blue there, the blue port. But one interesting thing is that we've also created it so that in some cases where you want to have that dual WAN connectivity, the LAN port can also be configured as a WAN. So that gives you that load balancing failover opportunity. So again, just being able to utilize this product in both a single WAN and multi-WAN connectivity for both of those kinds of services. Now, work is pretty much anywhere you can get your job done, right? You're on your phone, you're on your mobile while you're traveling in an airport, at home. You're always doing something, you're always connected. So that's where, work is happening. So in this day and age, that means that anywhere you have internet access, whether it's secure or insecure, you're doing work. By using VPN, like IPsec, L2TP over IPsec, or PPTP, for example, you can encrypt the communication between your remote teleworkers or other branch offices together to share local resources, shared files, or even accessing your local like CRM, your sales pad, everything like that you would need to do your normal day-to-day business, being able to do it securely. Again, not having to have to punch any holes into that system in order to gain access as if you were sitting there. So really, I just think that it's great that we could just sit anywhere as if we were sitting in the office, doing work. So we use some of the latest technologies like SHA-2, IKE2 to do the encryption and the negotiations between the VPN nodes. So of course, on the internet side, there's VPN that will happen that allows for you on the client devices using L2TP, again, IPsec, to be able to connect back to the office to access that internal data. So that's just an example of what it would look like there. Setting up VPN is also easy. You just have to follow some simple wizards. So you just get started there. It helps you go through to choose the scenario of whether it's a site to site, right? It's to office, or it becomes a server role, meaning that it's going to wait for any kind of connectivity between either sites to make it, or from remote devices to make a VPN connection to the firewall. Then, of course, you input like a IP of the device or a pre-shared key for the negotiation. That's the secret key that allows for it to build that tunnel. And then you save it. And then now the VPN tunnels between either like Zyxel to the VPN series can be made, or from a client device to the VPN2's can be made. And one interesting function that you'll see too is that in this product, it also has a client mode. Typically, you have to set up each device with a VPN connection. So you have to get licenses for your desktop, your Mac, your mobile devices, or your tablets, right? You have to have that VPN connection. You have to then create the right rules and et cetera, configure them to go to that device in order for you to build the tunnel out to your office space, right? But using a VPN2's, you actually can convert it into a client mode, meaning that it will act as the VPN client for you, no matter what kind of devices are behind it. So this can allow for all devices behind the tunnel to connect to the remote office or to connect to your central office without having any additional apps, software on those local devices. I kind of call it one tunnel to serve them all, kind of like Lord of the Rings there. Everyone there will be using one tunnel, be able to get out to that office space, office share securely and encrypted. We secure data and services. Threats continue to increase year over year. We see issues of ransomware. We see issues of like denial of service attacks, or even just people just pinging, searching for nodes, like all the zombie devices that are out there on the internet, just looking for ways to kind of find something that is open or vulnerable or responding, so that they can then further do additional threat attacks against it. Using our device, we can secure the devices behind it using different types of DOS protection, denial of service protection, and SPI, full-featured SPI firewall. So that offers that, ensuring that your network and your business security, network security, and your business is handled properly. So of course, websites are vulnerable. Symantec in 2016 saw that 76% of the scanned websites were found to have some sort of malware or vulnerabilities. So that's obviously been increasing as well. Google has at 32% that the hacked sites have increased dramatically as well. So that's not going to go away. It just means that the internet itself and a lot of web pages out there are full of malware, pop-ups, things that are trying to trick you to downloading stuff to install. So we've designed a web security module. It's really designed to protect users visiting different types of websites. So our content filtering in the VPN2's comes actually as included as a 1-year service. There's a yearly subscription that will happen after that first year. But the content filter really protects your data and increases your productivity. With content filtering, we take control of what sites can be visited by employees or by guests. Really, it minimizes the exposure for them to be going to a malware site or malware laced site, and hopefully as well increase productivity by blocking things like Netflix, gaming, etc. So non-productive applications can be blocked, prevented from coming in. But then we can also prioritize making sure that, hey, AWS, Office 365, or things that are useful for the business can get through and not be blocked. So we offer one of the most cost-effective VPN firewalls for the small office today. So that is our VPN2's. I don't know if you could see it here. I just have a VPN2's with me, just fresh out of the box. And it's made out of a plastic housing, so it's a little bit different than our VPN series, which are metal housing. So it's a little, again, it's about cost effectiveness, small office environment, not needing to have something that's fully rack mountable, that kind of thing. It's a different kind of ID design from those from that series. But even though the design is different, a lot of the features are very powerful for that small office or the home office. Again, things like multi-WAN load balancing, so the failover situation. 150 megs of firewall throughput, which really accounts for about the VPN throughput on this, about 35 megabits of VPN throughput. So again, for an office that has, a 25 meg connection, this is perfect, very cost effective for it. 50,000 sessions, 20 concurrent VPN tunnels, and those tunnels include the, a mixture of your IPsec, L2TP, PPTP. So any of those kinds of solutions can be used for, to account for that 20 VPN tunnels. And of course, we're using the latest robust secure the IKEv2 and SHA-2 encryption methods. So the IKEv2 is a next generation encryption. It's all about fast handshaking. It's more efficient. It negotiates a lot faster. So that means faster read key time, less interop issues, especially with like a NAT traversal and things like that. So it's a little bit technical, here, but ultimately what it means is it's faster, better, more efficient, and more secure, because it even offers DOS and IP spoof protection as well. So it helps to validate, to make sure that, hey, this is not some other guy sending in or injecting different types of traffic to try to fake that he is the the main connection to try to build that VPN. So it really helps to authenticate that, and it protects you from getting that denial of service onto that VPN itself. Also, so it's better resilient to attacks. Using the SHA-2 encryption, we actually use a mathematical computing protection really to kind of analyze the hash, like a computed hash value, and then compare it on the other side as well and what's expected. And that really is to determine the data integrity of that content that's being sent over. So if there's anything that had been manipulated or it's not what was expected originally, it could be somebody had injected something, or somewhere in the middle there was a middleman that was spoofing the data traffic or something like that. We can protect against that. So it makes for a much more secure VPN network. One quick question I had from one of our attendees is, what about Mac support, like Mac VPN? Do you need the Zyxel units to support the built-in VPN client without third-party add-ons? Well, Apple also has L2TP or PPTP. I think it's L2TP over IPsec, which actually is compatible with our VPN2's. So you don't need anything extra to do that. Now, if you want to do full IPsec, which is the most secured level of VPN encryption, then you would have to find a third-party application for your Mac in order to do that. But one great thing about it is, like I mentioned earlier, in that client mode, if you have the client mode going on at your office, let's say, or your home office, and you want to connect to your central office, you can use the VPN2's as your client itself. So then all the devices behind it on your LAN, or the ones you choose to go through that tunnel, can actually be made to go through that one client as if it was a client. So it becomes almost like a local device agnostic. It doesn't care what's behind it. We can send all those traffic if it's bound for your server or your across the VPN tunnel. We'll traverse that VPN tunnel for you without a client. So that is a great advantage for that. You don't have to set it up. You don't have to have that extra stuff. You just have to have that VPN2's within your office environment or your home office environment to do that. Of course, you could take it as well. If you want to take it with you, traveling, you could take that box and put it in, your hotel, as long as there's some Ethernet converter or Ethernet port, then you can build that VPN tunnel out the internet connection. So that was pretty much the VPN2's kind of in a nutshell. It's part of our VPN series of product. Our higher end VPN, like our VPN50, 100, 300, these would probably typically be your main central headquarter nodes where these maybe VPN2's are connected to as well. They typically are, have multiple WAN connectivity with even fiber uplinks. Their capacity for VPN tunnels is a lot higher than the VPN2's. The performance is also bigger as well. So again, it's all about how do I aggregate multiple sites or multiple VPN2's to that central location through VPN. And again, you can flip it on the other side as well. You can have VPN2's that are on the local nodes. You in your central office or in your NOC have one of our VPN series models, which then allows for you to have access to the local network at the office. So if you're managing managing desktops using remote desktop, managing like access points, managing switches, PBXs, voice or IP phones, cameras, whatever, you have a one tunnel secure tunnel to that office space, as if you were sitting on that local network, and then you're be able to access anything that you allow for yourself to have access to. So that's really a much more secure way of getting things done, especially if you're doing a managed service offering. So the VPN that in this series is very flexible. It offers a wide range of technologies that it supports. It includes SSL VPN, IPsec VPN, and as well L2TP. So it covers everything from the mobile clients, site-to-site VPN, or employee mobile, however kind of situations you want to use, or using just a browser to get to this VPN tunnel. One feature that in the VPN series, again, it's all about making the VPN available for the network. So you have a lot of these remote offices or even home offices connected to the internet. At your main headquarters, you can have a dual WAN, load balancing, but also offer high availability on the VPN tunnel. So you can even load balance on the tunnel as well. So you can send VPN traffic down, two different WAN connections that it's existing in the headquarters. So that, of course, increases capacity of, the overall throughput of it, but it also offers a failover situation. So in a case of a failover, maybe one of the WAN connections at the headquarters is down, or your local internet is down, it can fail over the VPN tunnel to the secondary internet connection and make a connection back to headquarters, rebuilding that tunnel. Again, all about making sure that your connectivity is always on. So it minimizes that downtime, especially when your services, again, are sitting somewhere else, as well as, there's the other application as well for this VPN tunnel is Amazon VPC. We have support for Amazon Cloud that allows for you to connect VPN to the Amazon cloud, where you may have your hosted services, your cloud email servers, your DNS servers, etc. Your CRM are all in that cloud at AWS. We can build that VPN tunnel as an approved vendor with Amazon to give you that reliability connection there. So of course, it boosts your reliability, really boosts productivity, all those things that we benefit from when you have the connection available. So if you have any more information or need some more information on security overall, finding guides, troubleshooting guides, things about information about virus updates or even solutions, go to onesecurity.com. It's Zyxel hosted website that has all those information on there about our UTM products, our VPN products as well. So at this time, I'd like to take any questions. Again, please use the Q&A section down there. I see a couple questions down there. One question that was asked is, what is the cost of content filtering after 1 year subscription? It will range. I mean, I think the target street price on it for the 1 year is around $70. So somewhere between $50 to $70 a year for the content filtering service, and that includes, HTTPS domain name blocking as well. So it allows for you to block encrypted web pages. Another question was, does the VPN2S support site-to-site VPNs and VPN connections from individuals that are off-site? And then which clients would I use in that case? So yes, the VPN2S supports site-to-site VPN. So you would use either dual VPN2Ss to building an IPsec tunnel between them. Typically, we want you to use IPsec if it's available. Again, it's the most secure and it's the most efficient way of doing it. On top of that, you can have a USG series or a Zyxel series that has VPN support, and you're able to make that VPN connection between them as well as a site-to-site using IPsec. Of course, our products are also ICSA certified, so you could build. We use the standards that you could build to any other kind of, if you already have a central VPN, a third party or a competitor product, you could still build a VPN tunnel to them as well. The client that you would use, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. There's a lot of free IPsec clients out there. You don't have to use a client if you don't want to buy IPsec. You can, again, use a built-in Windows L2TP over IPsec, or mobile devices will have L2TP or PPTP, allowing you to terminate VPN to the VPN series here. Another question that I had was, does the VPN2S have UTM? Well, UTM is reserved for our USG series, so that's the whole unified threat management, including the malware protection, ransomware protection, the scanning, the packet deep layer inspection scanning. The VPN2S does not have that. It has content filtering and GeoIP like enforcing, so it can block content, websites, malicious websites, and even like packets coming from countries that you don't want to have. So you can say, hey, I want to block the entire Asia region. You can block all traffic that comes from there, and you only accept US only traffic. That's something that you can do as well using the content filtering service. Another question was, is the VPN2S different from the VPN50? What you'll see in the VPN2S is it's very geared towards that, easy to use small office or home office, something that you could technically pick up off the shelf, be able to configure yourself, going through some simple wizards, through simple interfaces to allow for you to configure the device to using like VPN or using just enabling these kinds of security. So it's made very differently in terms of the GUI and some of the functionalities as well. It's not as full featured as, let's say, the VPN50 is, which is, if you're familiar with that interface, it's very much like our USG series. It's part of that kind of family of product with a lot of complexity potentially, but you can use it in any kind of those many different applications there. Bruce asked, is this product compatible with the USG series? And the answer is yes. If you want to be able to build VPN tunnels between the VPN2S to a USG series, you'll have no problem doing that. In fact, I think we have some integrations that allow for you to do it a little bit easier rather than having to do all the steps that you would typically, from a blind standpoint. So you're able to provision, or you're able to share that information across to those VPNs to help you get on board and going, making connection from the VPN2S to other USG series. Just to reiterate, I guess the retail price, the target retail price of the VPN2S, what you'll see online or whatever, the target is it's under $100. So it's probably going to be about $99, like what you'll see online. So really, again, a very cost-effective product that has that kind of performance, as well as the protection and VPN capabilities with multi-WAN load balancing. So it's actually one of Zyxel's most cost-effective, VPN security, devices there out in the market. So. Well, again, I wanted to say too, I forgot to mention that we're actually going to be giving away two of these VPNs 2Ss to two of the attendees who are here today. So get that out to marketing, and marketing will randomly choose one of the two attendees out of here, and we'll get a hold of you and announce that, and send you send you one on its way, probably in a week or two. If there are no other questions, it looks like there's no other questions at the moment. Yep, if there's no other questions, thank you again for joining Zyxel in this webinar of the VPN2's. We are here to be your partner and your networking ally. We hope that, again, the webinar will be online, probably in a few hours or so. You can find that if you want to send it to any of your team members to watch it, or you can watch it again if you'd like to just review some of the slides that are there. Well, we'll try to post the slides to make it available to you if you're a partner with us. Just keep your eyes out for that. We have other webinars that are coming up in the future, so look forward to seeing you again there, and hope that you have a great day. And again, we look to working with you and partnering up with you here at Zyxel. Thanks again. Have a great afternoon.